Hey everybody, in this video we are going to talk about the campaigns, and we're going to talk about the page styling tab in your campaign settings. So as I discussed before in the campaign overview video, you have a few different tabs here. You have your ad products, is where you're going to add the products that you want to your campaign. Your column, this is going to be where you put your copy and your directions and the message that you want to give to people that come to your campaign. So you have a few columns, boxes, and we'll do a training video on that. Page styling, which we'll discuss in this video. You also have your menus, Facebook share information, cart and cart settings. Okay, so with page styling, this is going to kind of determine how your page looks visually and also some of the functionality that goes along with your page. Okay, when you start here, you have an activate header. You can have a custom header, which you can make as you're going through this page styling tab, or you can have no header. I would not suggest to have no header unless you're trying to make the campaign look a little bit different. You always want to have a header so you can have all of your images here, the cart image, your logo, refund policy, contact information, so all those types of things. This is a T-Rex page, so this is outside of your WordPress pages. So you want to make sure you have a header, because even though you may have a header on your website, on your WordPress pages, that's not going to transfer over to your T-Rex pages. And a campaign page is considered a T-Rex page. It's outside of the WordPress. Okay, so a cart image, you can use any cart image you want. Here's one that we use a lot. It's a lot for the training videos. You can find these online. You can get these images, and this one's a 600 by 574. And you can use whatever kind of cart image you want. You can just go ahead and insert that. Now your logo image is the logo that you're going to use, your store logo. You can use the logo that you have for your for all of the other campaign pages in your home page at 515 pixel by 119. It should automatically kind of make the dimensions fit on the page. I know it looks a little distorted here, but as you can see, I want to show you what these look like. So if I just hit update, I come over here, and you can see that on the header, we have the header. Here's the cart image, and here's the logo. Okay, so it's still, the dimensions come out right. You can see it, it's clear, and that's where you do those two things. Okay, now the header background color, we suggest kind of leaving these all as the default. It's kind of this, it's just a little bit darker than an all white, like an eggshell white, so it's not really bright, but I would just leave these header background colors and border and menu colors as these default. Now if you want to change them up, you can do that. You can see how they look and just see why you would want to probably leave them the way they are, but I can show you one, and then you can kind of see how that affects your page and the way it looks. So I just have this opened up in another tab, and you can see just by making that header black, you have to have a lot of transparent images up here, or else they're going to show. So that's why we just kind of suggest leaving them at that default color. But that's how you change those, and unless you want to customize it. Maybe it goes good with a certain product. We completely understand that. So no problem there. So I would just leave those as these default light gray colors here. Okay. Now as far as the footer, you can have no footer or activate your footer. You're going to want a footer so you can put some of your, and I'll pull up another campaign that I have completed, because this one is starting from scratch. So let's go out to a campaign that we have. The footer is where you want to put your privacy policy and terms of service. You want to put these other types of messages, your quality guarantee, your secure checkout, things that build trust with your customers. And also, if you are running Facebook ads, they need to see a privacy policy and a terms of service usually on the page that you're driving traffic to. If they don't see that, many times they'll just shut your ad off. So you want to make sure that you're abiding by the rules for Facebook too. So that's why you want to usually have those in your footer section. Okay, so we suggest leaving the footer on, and if you need to take it off for whatever reason, there's a button to do that. Okay, and you can see this footer background color is even a slightly darker gray, so it stands out a little bit more. So you can just keep it at default or make it whatever color you would like. Now there's the whole background of the page. You can just keep it at that default color that it is now, or you can actually upload an image, and you can kind of do in the background options, you can do to cover or stretch, fit the window. You can make it center or tile. So this is something that you have to kind of play with. I've seen some people do really cool. They're selling like auto part or car racing t-shirts, and they were able to kind of manipulate this so they have a really cool car in the background. We don't suggest that, but again, it's really up to the user's discretion and how they want to do that. But there is the option to upload a body background image if you want to. So you have a lot of options as far as the way you want your campaign page to look. So the content area background, again, just leaving it at these default colors. Now the title size is this is the name of your campaign. So this one we call Mom Life. So if you want, sometimes if you have a longer title size, you could. So the title size, if you have a longer title and you want to try to play with this a little bit to make it maybe fit on one line, you can do that if you want to make it bigger. I don't know what the default title size is, but sometimes if you just go in here, maybe type in 50, probably bigger than what we're going to see right here now. So I'm going to, okay, so you can see how the Mom Life is a little bit bigger. So again, usually used if you have a longer title, and if you do have a long title, it will go on two lines here, and that kind of pushes everything down the page. So that's why we upgraded that with an ability to change just the size of the font here. So that way you can get it all in one line. So again, you can kind of play with that. It's probably like based on like a maybe 30, I think it may be the default size. So, and then the cool thing is here, you can also change the color of the title. So a lot of times if you have like maybe your product has got a lot of red in it, or if it's pink, or if you're doing fundraisers and maybe you're doing some, like say a breast cancer awareness fundraiser, you can change the title of the color of the title to match the actual design that you're promoting. So it looks pretty cool. Kind of ties it together. So you just you can enter in a hex code there, or you can just click one of these colors if you want and clear it out. So the default color will be black on that. Okay. Now you want to activate your zoom for the product that you have, and we definitely suggest doing that so people can see your design a little bit better. And so they can, and sometimes you have little fine print on your designs, or something is just like anything, you want to be able to zoom over so you can really see that. Now the form position is left. That's where you want to leave that form position. Okay, and let me see it here. So the first name placeholder and the second name placeholder, and we'll get more into this when I do a personalized campaign. This is more or less for the personalized designs that you have. So if you have a personalized design that says, I love my dog Jack, or whatever, and your design kind of leaves personalization so people can put in the name of their dog, this is where you would actually put the field here. So enter dog's name here. So they would actually see this. So this is where you want to enter those. If you have two forms of personalization, you would just simply enter the second form in this field, okay? The first name non-personalized placeholder and the second name non-personalized placeholder, those typically you don't ever have to do anything with those. You can just really, these two take care of that, so you can kind of just ignore these. They rarely ever come into play because usually you're doing a personalized design or a manually personalized design. So that's how that works. So I'm going to just go ahead and enter. Well, I don't know if it will show up, because you have to have, in order for this to show on your campaign page, you have to have a product, and you also have to have that product be marked as personalized, or these fields won't even show up. So we'll kind of dive into that in the next video when I do an actual personalized campaign and how to set that up. And that kind of leads into this, the % form button text. So this will be, if you want to see after they type in their personalization, if you want to put preview or search or whatever you want to have that button say, you can put that in there, and that's what the button will say. So when they actually click that button, the personalization will pop up that they put into those fields. Okay. Now, when you get into this is more personalization stuff. Real quickly, this is it based on your font. You want to select the name case. So if your font calls for all uppercase, you want to make sure that this is selected. And some fonts are all uppercase or all lowercase regardless. So it's something you kind of have to play with. But according to your design, if your font is a first letter uppercase and then the rest lowercase, you can go ahead and click one of these. And you want to make sure you do that. So when they say a potential customer types in all caps and they don't realize it, it will actually override that all caps, and it will make sure that the font appears to the way that the design is supposed to. So, and we'll get, like I said, we'll get more into that. And then this is where your size guide links are. You're going to have to upload a size guide image. So if we go over to, I'm going to go search for a size guide in another store so you can see what the image size is. And you'll have to create your own size guide with your logos. Let's see if I can. There it is. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and save this image. And I'm going to upload it so you can see. So I'm going to come back over here. Now the size guide, let's see, size guide image is right here. And again, you'll have to create one for with your own logos and that kind of stuff. But just so you can see the size, it's a 422 by 1024. So it's, you know, it's a long form, and I'll let you see exactly what it looks like here in a second. So I'll insert that. And the buy button image. So the buy button image is going to basically be your add to cart image. So here's one that we use, and again, you can use whatever type. You can test different ones. I know that some people like to use green add to carts, orange, whatever you want to do, but the size is 404 by 134 pixels. Okay, this one we bought this image and we put it in all of our mega stores, and it's really up to you if you wanted to use it, but it's kind of good because it has, you know, the credit cards at the bottom. It also has the PayPal button at the bottom, so letting them know they can do PayPal. So let's just go through, and one thing I wanted to say on this activate size guide links, if you do not have this checked, they will not be able to see the size guide. So you have to have this box checked. And a lot of times, if you're selling a product that doesn't need a size guide, maybe it's I don't know, any type of physical product, like a coffee cup or something that you can explain in the text above, you would just want to uncheck this so that way they don't get confused and are looking at a size guide and there's nothing on there. So that's why we give you the option to click that off and click that on. Okay, so I just want to update this. I want to show you kind of how this is filling out on the page. So we'll go ahead and refresh this. Okay, so now you can see that here's the size guide and the select size. Once you activate that with that check, now you can see the sizes that we have on this particular product. I know we only put 2 just because for training purposes, but obviously you would have more sizes on a t-shirt. Okay, here is the add to cart, and you can see when I did reduce that name of the title to 30, it kind of shrunk it down. So just want to show you guys how this is kind of filling out right now. Okay, so if we go back here, and I'm just going to come back, make sure I have this information right. Let's see, size guide. Okay, so on this, the guide text. So you can put, this is kind of going to be the size drop-down label and the size drop-down text. So I'm going to just put these in here so you can see where they're at on the size guide. Because this is kind of confusing because I almost named it the same thing. And so what I like to do is when I'm trying to fill these things out, I will just type in exactly what it says. So that way when I go back to the page, I can see, okay, oh, this is what this field does. We'll put this in here. Okay, I'm going to go back through, update it, come back over. Okay, so I'm going to go back and forth a little bit here, and so you can understand. So the guide text is basically this here, guide text. So if you want this to say, normally we just kind of leave it at size guide. So people can, that's that link that they can click, and it's going to pull up the size guide that you've uploaded, okay? The size drop-down label, if you come back over here, click out of that. So this is the size drop-down label. This is kind of a little label before. You can say choose your size below, or click in the box below to select your size, because they have to select a size before they add to cart. So you can, however you want to name this, this is what the size drop-down label, this is where that appears. And then the last but not least, the size drop-down text is actually what you have in here. So you can put here, click here, click to choose size, whatever you want to do. So those are what those three mean, and that's why we give you the option there. Okay. Okay, moving along here. Now the scarcity graphics, this kind of gives the graphic, if you want to put this on your campaign page, you can. It's based off of 50 units left, so if you want to say, type in here 30, and then click this box, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get this graphic. I'm going to refresh here. So what that will do is that will put a 30 left in stock out of 30. So I think what happens here, this will continue to go down, and let me see how you do that, because it should have stayed at 50. So as things are purchased, yeah, they will go down. So the way we did that is if you want to put only out of 10, 10 out of 10, just to kind of create scarcity, as people buy, that number will go down. Okay. A lot of people don't like using this because they're running Facebook ads, and Facebook did not really like these fake scarcity graphics. So it's really up to you. This is just an option that we left in case people, a lot of people do use them, and you can actually create them to where they are legit. As people buy one, that it is maybe you only have 30 left. So that's really up to you. To whatever you wanted to count down for. This is really good with fundraising. So if you're doing some fundraising, you can actually set this campaign. So if you say, hey, the campaign's going to last for 2 weeks, you can set it at that time. And let's just do a couple more, and then we'll update. And also if you want to activate the discount, remember we talked about this in previous training videos. If you have a save 10, save 20 discount, you have to have this box checked, or they will not be able to enter that coupon code that you've created in your discount settings on the cart page. So if you have a shipping discount that you've created, maybe free shipping with a certain amount or flat rate shipping, you can pick that here. Here's your discount. So if you wanted 10% off, make sure you have this selected and you select your discount. You should have all your thank you page and your confirmation emails selected in your business settings, which should override all your actually be a global setting. But if you have different thank you pages for different campaigns or different confirmation emails, you can select those here as you create them. And I always like to just make sure I have, even if it's the default, I'd like to make sure they're selected on the campaign so I know they're getting to the thank you page and a confirmation email. We haven't done an exit pop-up video yet, but this is where you would select the exit pop-up and a notifier. And basically this is like notifying people that come to your site of prior purchases by people, and an exit pop is someone that tries to close out, and they may have a pop-up that says, hey, don't leave yet, 10% off if you use this code. Okay, and to round out the page styling is the Facebook pixels. Sometimes you may have create a custom conversion pixel that you just want to track on a specific campaign. If you enter those into these fields here, and you'll see that we in the pixels training video, this will override for this campaign your business settings pixels. So you'll want to make sure that you know what you're doing. This is a little bit more advanced. If you're just beginning out, I suggest just using your main pixel that are set up in your business settings until you learn more about how to create custom conversions and custom pixels. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit update. And then we're going to just let's see. Oh, activate scarcity graphics, activate timer. Okay, it's so cool. So I didn't see the timer on here, and I didn't have this box checked. That's why I didn't see that. And I forgot to. This is kind of a big step. So if you do have a timer, you need to see where you want to set that timer up, and we'll go over this in the columns video. But I'll touch on it here too. Let's just say you want the timer below a little bit in right-hand column 3. It will not show up unless you use this countdown. See this percent timer equals countdown. This is a short code that you need to put on here, and this will activate it once you put it on one of those columns. Okay, so unless you have that, the timer's not going to show up. So if we go back here and we hit refresh, okay, so now you can see that I had that box show up with the scarcity graphics here, and now the timer's automatically set. Okay, so you can put this timer wherever you'd like in these columns. Like I said, we'll go over those more in the columns video, but this is where you'll do. And also in the columns video, we'll start talking about this a little bit more, but we touched briefly on it in the campaigns overview training video. So that's your page styling. Those are all the fields that you'll need to know about. And once you have one set up, you can really just duplicate campaigns. That way you don't have to go through and continue to upload all the graphics and all that kind of stuff. So once you get one set up, you're good to go, and I'll see you guys in the next video.